So Kyle, you all ready for your survival trip?
Dude, I am really all right. So
We're gonna die. We're
I'm
totally
setting up-
gonna die.
I was setting up to film. I was out in the field working all day the last 2 or 3 days. I'm setting up for filming tomorrow, and I had to move like 15 toilets by myself and like stack them up. And anyway, I strained my back really fucking bad. When you were talking about Rush being on all those painkillers, I was thinking like I'm on a lot of muscle relaxers right now just to keep me sitting in this position. So if I get a little loopy as the show goes on, I'll blame that for sure. But we're mostly ready. I'm going to be 100% honest. I don't want anybody to freak out, but we don't exactly have a spot to go yet, okay? Now, don't worry about that because we've got, well, I'm filming tomorrow, obviously, so I won't be doing anything then. But then there's Saturday, and I've got Saturday. And on Saturday, I'm going to find us a spot to do our survival trip, which is happening on Monday. But don't worry, because everything's already in motion, and there's no way to back out now.
No, it's better.
So
it's better that you don't have somewhere to go. When you're surviving, you don't get to pick your little survival cobble. You get dropped in the middle of nowhere, and you have to make do. So I say you just walk a preset amount. You set on your little pedometer like 50,000 steps, and wherever that is, you got to survive.
For Jay's benefit,
is it weird that I'm wondering why Kyle has 15 toilets?
No.
No,
I don't even question why he has things anymore.
It's for a shoot, I'm sure. They react well to bullets.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot them.
Here's the deal. It's Kyle, me, Dr. Chiz, and then not playing by the rules, our cameraman, who's Patrick from How I Became. And he's going to have a tent or a tent cot or something like that. He's going to have camera gear and food and all that stuff. So he is not out there starving. And thankfully, we don't have to share our squirrels with him.
Squirrel. It's like the cameraman on Naked and Afraid.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, look, I'm not sharing my squirrel with fucking Patrick. Like, he's going to bring some Snickers because I'm not splitting it 4 ways. Yeah, it's just not going to happen.
I tell you, you know how we're using these 22s to shoot squirrels? I'm bringing a shotgun and birdshot. Fuck it. If I chase away, oh, shut up, you. I can hardly. Fuck you. I love you though. If I chase away a squirrel too by shooting with a lever action iron sight cowboy style rifle, then I will break out the shotgun. I have got to eat.
No, go by Kyle's uber strict rules because about 9 hours in, when he starts fiending for number 5 from Taco Bell, he's gonna wish he had a shotgun there and a few pellets and a tasty squirrel. Like that's, I want to see you guys cheat a lot. Oh, but only by yourself. Chiz can't know. You guys have to. You guys bring
like
a lot of like Snickers
laughing at him,
and stuff.
just
Yeah, he's shivering. You guys have like a bottle of wild turkey over there, just like enjoying yourself. He's sitting there with like one of those nasty army rations. I would love to see him suffer.
There's energy bar wrappers all over the place, and we feign ignorance. Like I don't
Empty
know.
boxes of Cliff Bars.
Google real quick.
I have lost 9 pounds in the last month or something like that. Maybe more. And
You're about to lose more on that trip, too.
I think so. I don't know. I'm not sure. It doesn't stay off on survival trip weight loss, but it has to be fat that gets burned. It must be a step in the right direction.
Well, some of it's going to be muscle, too.
Yeah.
You're not going to be getting 100 grams of squirrel protein a day, so some of that is going to be muscle.
For sure.
Well, you can definitely shoot the squirrels with a shotgun legally. I probably should have known that, but like it just seems so unsporting that I would think it'd be one of those things.
Oh my
they don't
God. So prior to the last time I visited Kyle, I was such a terrible shotgun shot that it was kind of remarkable. Like,
dude, they're not flying squirrels.
They will be after I shoot them.
Vaporized.
But like, yeah, so he would throw clay pigeons in the air, and I would miss them until I got good last time. I don't know if I'm still good now. I haven't done it since. But on a bench rest or even off the shoulder, I'm a normal shot. But I don't know. I worry that I'll miss with my 22. I'll still try that first.
Oh, another thing I want you guys to do, I think would be funny, is like after every day of clips or whatever, you have to spend like 3 or 4 minutes like alone, like Blair Witch style, laying down with the camera just in front of you, and you can a confessional, and you bitch about how the other two are just really aggravating you, like fucking Chiz got 60 pounds of extra energy hanging off his body, and he's eating my squirrel. The fuck, he can't sit around for a couple days, and then.
Dude,
Kyle get in there, complain, shot all the squirrels today, didn't get to eat them all.
We're going to transform Chiz. That's a whole nother topic. But Chiz is going to look like you won't recognize him a year from now. It starts on Monday. But the smoking thing is going to be gone. Smoking anything out of the window. We're going to get him doing demo and construction on a daily basis. Sleeping schedule repaired. And he's going to be a whole different guy. It's not a boot camp. It's a new life.
Is his sleeping schedule fucked up?
Yes.
I have no idea.
Yeah. You know, dude, everyone on YouTube has a fucked up schedule. Like, there's just nothing to sort of tie you into normalcy.
I go to sleep somewhere between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m.
Dude, the big deal is when you, like, they go to the blackout curtains. Once you go to blackout curtains, anything can happen.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. It's a mistake. That house that he's moving into, the guest house, it doesn't have blackout curtains. He is going to have a reasonable sleep schedule, and it's going to do wonders for him physically.
Blackout curtains. All right, let me take that back. If you just don't give a fuck and you don't have a real job or a girlfriend and you don't really care if you gain a little weight and you just want some awesome sleepy time, because that's the best thing in life if we're being honest, sleep, black those motherfuckers out. When it's pitch black, and I mean like a cave, there's something different about that kind of sleep. It's like being back in the womb. It's zero light. You black out, and when you wake up, you don't know if it's 4 p.m. or 4 a.m., and you don't fucking care.
No,
that's when I travel.
Blackout curtains are a slippery slope to pee jugs and the pizza guy knowing your name. You don't need that in your life. You need just to open the blinds.
Who told you about my pee jugs? It was one time.
Oh, I mean, everybody's used a pee jug once, but they don't make a habit of it.
I've never used a pee jug, and I don't think...
You've never used a pee jug?
You've never been on a long road trip where nobody else wanted to stop?
Look, I used to be a FedEx driver, and I lived by the pee jug, a.k.a. Gatorade bottle.
Did you ever have close calls where you panicked and you had to cut off the pee stream, or were you pretty good, a lot of foresight?
I made sure that there was plenty of volume left over in the bottle, if you know what I mean.
I pee in my car all the time. All the time. And I go
Not like
so
literally
far,
in the car, though, like right in a container in the car.
No, just right on the fucking seat. Yeah, in a container. I'll get like
gotcha.
and always plan ahead, like, right? So if I've got to make a long drive, I don't have time to stop or whatever. And like if I'm driving into Atlanta to pick one up from the airport, and I know I'm going to hit traffic and I might be sitting there for 4 hours, totally going to bring a Gatorade or a Frappuccino from Starbucks, one of those glass bottles, because my dick can fit in that bottle. And I can because if you just try and like press the head of your dick against like a 20-ounce soda bottle, then you're just one slip away from pissing everywhere. Like that, and you're driving, so you can't stop.
That's why you need the Gatorade, the 32-ounce like Big Mouth bottles.
So your penis doesn't fit in the Pepsi bottle?
Absolutely not.
Woody just uses those super-size... oh, never mind.
So you don't... What about a Coke can? Does it fit in a Coke can?
Oh, God, that would be a nightmare.
Large plastic pixie sticks?
None of that. But yeah, I do that all the time.
You guys don't use a straw?
I always thought a catheter would be the worst thing. That's what I thought of.
I've never
either.
Yeah.
Anyone?
A challenge.
But on the survival trip, this one's going to be better. I'm very excited about having professional video. Patrick has a whole spreadsheet of video ideas. I don't know.
He approached us with it last time around, and the issue was, he's all the way in fucking England. But this time around, we were like, let's make this happen. We got to sponsor the show. We'll get him over here, and I think it's going to be really good because he's got all these great ideas. And it's not like he's got ideas like, all right, the gang gets together and they make a human pyramid. Like, it's not bullshit. It's like segments. It's like, let's make sure we film this aspect, that aspect, this aspect, and then follow up with that to sort of tell a story. We're filming kind of a miniature documentary next week, and there's no way that it's not happening because it's someone else's job to do it, so we can't fuck it up.
See, I've even got it. Like Let's see. He has the link, like 3 to 5 minutes, how the trip is going to work. 3 to 5 more minutes, intro to the crew, an equipment video, show what people have in the bags to survive, the armory, the guns, daily vlog videos, 10 to 20 minutes. PKN in the wild, just like, what is it? An episode of PKN during the survival trip, an episode of PKA during the survival trip. I bought some new equipment so we can do the audio in that properly. Q&A, cooking with Kyle. Kyle shows off his culinary skills with the food caught. But he has like a whole bunch of ideas here, and how many of those videos we're going to have, and like the schedule, and like it's going to be professionally shot and edited, and it's going to be...
I'm very excited about the videos that are going to come out of this. It's going to be... I felt like we did a pretty good... We're only there for like a day, but we had good videos last time. But it was, me and you shooting each other with cell phones, basically. Mm-hmm. This is going to be great. This is going to be better than that. And it was good last time because it's interesting content. We're doing cool shit.
It's a mix, right? Because like some people like the like confessional type stuff and the sort of update, and other people like the pro side. He's got it all covered. I have very high hopes about bringing in a real camera crew, and from a PKA standpoint, like I hope this serves as a like example of what we can do. So the next time we want to do a PKA adventure, whatever that is, skydiving, go-kart racing, something or other, we're like, this is the kind of shit that happens when you bring us in, and it'll be easier to make these trips go. Like it should be cool, which is why we invested in a cameraman.
Yeah, let's mention our sponsor, right? It's what are they called? Or
Battle Box, I think. Or maybe we shouldn't. Well, fuck, we just did. Yeah, so Battle Box is the business model is similar to Loot Crate in that they ship something to you every month, but the difference is it's survival and tactical gear delivered monthly. And they have a bunch of different levels and stuff. I'm sure we'll talk more about it in their videos. But yeah, so they're making this thing a reality, and I'm grateful. And I haven't got my gear yet. It's supposed to come tomorrow.
Yeah, the gear. I'm glad that they're getting us gear because it's going to be like the little odds and ends that I just don't want to go pick up because it'll get expensive if I have to collect all that bullshit again. I don't want to go get another fire starter. I remember we got into that fire starting bullshit last time, and Wings was so competitive. And look, I don't want this to be me hating on Wings. Don't think of it that way because I love the guy.
Of course not.
He is the worst at making fire. And the worst part was he was fixated on it so much. He made 3 fire making videos, and he discussed making the fire in at least 2 additional videos, and he was discussing the fire in every PKA that surrounded this time. But he never ever made a fire.
There was one camera. Like you'd see him striking it, and you'd see him putting sparks on something very flammable. But we don't know that. Unless you know something I don't.
Go watch the video. Look. Here's how it is. He's got a big pile of hay in his backyard, and he's striking it. Even if he did set it on fire, like that doesn't count because the whole idea was like go into the woods and find stuff there and make a fire with that because that's what we're doing. He gets the pile of hay. He strikes. You see a little smoke. Then the camera cuts off. And then it cuts back on, like a hard cut, like camera off. It comes back on. It comes back on, and all of the hay is fully engulfed. And he's like, whoa, look at it burn. Look at it burn. It's just like, that's a fire, boys. And it's just like, all right, you can stop making fire videos now. That's good.
It might just be that he found it difficult to film, like, because it took him a while to start the
Shall I link you to my fire video?
No.
No, I don't want to watch anybody make fire.
Exactly.
This isn't the year 2. Nobody
year
cares.
2. But I know that I've done stuff where it's like, all right, sometime in the next 40 minutes, an interesting thing will happen, and maybe he missed the magic moment. I don't know, but yeah. I
So
wonder
aside from shooting, do you guys have a plan for like traps to set up? Shit like that.
So here's.
I think I'm gonna make the structure much like we did previously.
He was talking about food traps.
He was, yeah. That's the only planning I've done. I was like, I think the structure plan worked out okay. Traps. We should learn how to make a trap. I was asking Kyle, will there be a lake we can fish in? Oh, that's a thing. Not legal.
No, they wouldn't be real traps. You would set up one of those like box falling traps. You'd run over there with the camera shaking behind Kyle, lift it up, and find like a cheesy gordita crunch. and then you would eat it.
Oh,
Chiz,
that
like,
would be
you guys would
hilarious in
have-
a video.
Yeah.
Imagine this. Like the camera's on me, and I'm just like, come on. And I'm like aiming up into a tree at a target. Like, don't move, you'll spook him. Don't move, you'll spook him. It's a big one. And then finally, and you see something tumble out of the tree, and I run, I grab it. I'm like, I got it. And the camera's come from behind me. It can't really tell what I've got. And it gets up there, it's a Big Mac. It's like, I can't believe I got it. You can just eat it fresh, just fresh.
Yeah, but you guys need to both be there when it happens, and then have a quick little like pseudo argument, like, should we take some back to Chiz?
What we could
He doesn't
do,
have to know. He's had enough of these for a lifetime.
we could take the contents of the battle box and have them drop in via parachute, like Hunger Games, like Twinkle Twinkle
Yeah,
Twinkle,
yeah.
and then
Oh, that's funny.
like a
that.
knife.
I was thinking, and
Well, look,
Kyle
look-
could be like tracking something down, looking for like droppings, and he like moves from leaves and finds like a Pabst Blue Ribbon or something, like cracks it open, takes a drink, he's like, still fresh. You see a rustling, and someone has tied like fishing wire to a bottle of wild turkey, and they like loop it around a tree, and so then they start pulling it, and Kyle goes off into pursuit to tackle it and take it back. But I was just thinking.
Unfortunately, we can't actually trap stuff. It's like there's like a law against it. Like there's a trapping season and trapping permit. It's a whole other thing. We can't trap. So
It's not every aspect of life, but when it comes to killing shit, Kyle is Captain Law abiding.
it's not necessarily, if I'm being honest, like if you and I were in the woods doing this without a cameraman there, if a rabbit jumped along, blow his fucking head off and let's eat him. If a crow flies over a dove, like a partridge in a pear tree, I don't care. Like we're out here to live. But
Can't
what
eat
you
crow.
never, yeah, I'll eat a crow,
That's
literally.
so sick.
What you never do.
I
even
wish
eat
I
crows,
knew that.
start meat. The problem is that you're uploading it to the internet, and we're kind of notable in one way or another. That's the whole point of this thing. There's like 500,000 of you who listen to this shit every week in one way or another. So we can't upload us committing crimes
Here's
and
the
show
thing.
500,000 people.
Whatever I kill out there is a squirrel. I don't care if it's a fucking deer. It's like, look at that squirrel right there. It's 200
In
pounds.
Georgia,
Coming
you'd
right
be
at us.
better off shooting. No, in Georgia, you'd be better off shooting a black man than a deer out of season. Like,
Whoa.
don't-
think there's no dark meat on the menu.
Oh, no cannibalism on this trip. We talked about this. No cannibalism.
None?
No, none. No, you don't want to shoot a deer. Like they'll literally take your vehicle away from you. The Red Ranger would be lost
Really?
forever. Yeah.
You can come to Missouri and shoot as many deer as you want. They're a huge problem. Like you don't even have to buy tags hardly.
There's no season or anything?
Missouri.
You come to the great state of Missouri, take as many deer as you please. Like it's like
I don't know
nobody
if that
cares. I
exists.
saw
Like Texas
7 in my
pigs.
backyard yesterday.
Really?
Like and I'm in a relatively urban area. I go
We're
metropolitan area.
going to
There's
see deer
everywhere.
on this trip. We'll see deer on this trip. I saw a bobcat when I was back there the other day. I had never ever seen one in my life before, and I've spent hundreds of hours in the woods. Saw a
Fantastic. So
bobcat.
now that we go without any shelter, right? We'll be sleeping on like a pile of sticks. The bobcat come back. But dude, this
You can eat
trip
a
is going to be
bobcat.
awesome. The content is going to be incredible. I don't know how many videos, but something like a dozen-ish. And or more, maybe more, because
bet
there's daily vlogs. There might be 20 videos.
Yeah, it depends how they're cut up. You know, if you're getting 45-minute videos, then maybe there's a dozen of those. I could see something
There's
like that.
going to be
being-
a lot of content, and it's
Lots
going to
of
be
content.
pro, and I'm psyched for it. Just
Yeah. Just wish we had a place to go.
that's on you. The only
Here's
thing
the
you
thing,
had
like,
to
just-
do. You had one job.
Dude, I've been doing it. So, like, let me defend myself a little here. So, basically, I was in charge of finding the spot. And I don't mind. You know, I take on everybody kind of has the responsibilities around PK. Everybody has a thing they do, and they just do it. Like, Woody does all that graphic shit. So, like, when he's struggling with it and huffing and puffing and, like, trying to make it work and get it right, I'm breathing easy because all I had to do was memorize the ad. But anyway, my job was finding the survival spot. And I narrowed it down to a big wilderness area. It's like 20,000 acres roughly, huge. So like that's not going to be a problem. And it's got these roads that crisscross inside of it, roughly 40 miles of them. Like you can drive for hours back there, it seems like. And I have driven back there for hours. I've been there 4 different occasions. I've gotten out and hiked 4 different times. All 4 times I've gotten out and hiked. and I'm just trying to find a good spot to do it there.
Now this
It's
this question
almost
is
perfect.
not that important, but do you think your truck will be ready, or will we take mine?
I don't know. As far as getting actually back there, we'll probably have to take yours. I don't know if mine's going to be ready or not.
Okay.
It's still with the mechanic.
Taco will be ready.
Yeah.
Shit always works. Because I guess I was almost hoping you said yours wouldn't be ready, even though it's going to be uncomfortable in the back, with 4 people.
I'll get in the bed.
I just know that it's reliable, and I know that like the camera guy will be able to go there. There's an inverter in it. He'll charge all his gear. Like I just know that's going to be fine. So
Yeah, I'll get in the bed of that thing. That'll be fun. Yeah, that'll be part of it. Once we get back on those on those dirt roads, it's you're gonna love those dirt roads. Like it's right up your alley. It's a cool place.
Taco will be fine on the dirt road.
And there aren't going to be any people. Like for a while, I was thinking about the nature of that place, and just now, I just thought about it. Like one of the things I've been weird about is like there's those gravel roads, and I've been trying to find a spot where like you could walk for a long distance without even seeing that gravel road. But nobody's ever on that gravel road. Like in the hours I've been back there, I've seen 2 other people total. And like it's just the one car that was. I just happened to like meet them as I'm going through there, and they're not like hiking. They're not doing anything back there. It seemed like they were just kind of driving through there with his kids in the car. Like, look at this, look at that. But it's a legit wilderness. It's kind of mountainy. What am I looking for here? It's rocky, little tumultuous.
I like mountain-esque. Sounds like
Mountain-esque.
it's like the
right.
name of a pioneer stripper.
It's
Dude,
I want to find. There's creeks with water, but there aren't any fish.
I'm more scared this time.
You should be.
I felt like last time, I'm more scared and almost dreadful. Like I'm like, this is going to be
Awful.
awful. This is going to be a very uncomfortable. On PKA on Thursday night, I am going to be a wreck. And like I watch these survival
if I could back
shows.
out, I would.
I'm compared to if I was watching this, I would compare me to the people on Naked and Afraid or Les Stroud. But those people are like good at this. We're not good at this. I have no training. Like I was at the John Deere place today picking up edger, and the guy asked me what I did for a living, and I was like, I do this YouTube thing or whatever, and I told him about the adventure trip or the survival trip, and they're like, so do you know anything about survival? And I'm like, no, that's the entertainment value. Like I've been camping, and that's that's it.
I went
really.
camping once.
Took an RV.
Once.
You guys have only been camping once.
I've been camping many
Each?
times.
Okay.
I went tent camping one time last year. That was the first time since I was 7 years old, and I went with my little league team.
Are you talking about the
I
trip
don't-
with me or a different trip?
A different trip. I went with my ex-girlfriend. We went camping in a tent at a campground, literally like inside of the truck. Like that's the only camping I've done. I've hunted a lot, and I feel really comfortable going out there and finding us food. I can do that. I'm going to do it.
You said that
I
last
can't
time,
wait
and the
until
only
you can't.
he snuck some herbal tea in. He's like, well, I
did bring
cheated. There's
some,
tea.
Yeah. Last time, like I guess my cheating item was like these little bags of like raspberry tea, like hot tea. Like you'd like brew it, and when I was sick, I was like, let's brew this fucking tea up. Like maybe this will make me feel better.
Yeah.
So what are your cheat items? I want to know what your cheat items. I'm sure Chiz's are cigarettes to get the fire
They
started.
better not be. He's a non-smoker starting Saturday.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's gonna be bringing any cigarettes. So I don't really have any cheat items. I got my tools, right?
A
My
shotgun.
tools! I
My
need
cheat item is a
tools.
shotgun. My
Yeah, yours
multi-tool.
is definitely, dude. That shotgun. I guess you're bringing your. I was gonna offer you a shotgun because like I got mine organized the other day, and I'm looking at the wall, and it's like there's like 8 shotguns over there. I was like, have one of mine, but I guess you'd like to bring yours. You've got one.
I just
Why
like.
not?
Yeah,
Of course,
I
it's
like to
yours.
build memories around my gear and stuff.
Your
like,
cheat
oh, yeah.
items
I only-
have to be funny. Kyle's, yours could be you bring in your fucking volcano from Mount Fuji face scrub or whatever because you just can't go 5 days without that. Or they catch you in the middle of the night, like embarrassingly rubbing like soot from the shoreline under your face trying to keep yourself young.
He's
looking.
exfoliating with sand.
Woody, will it? So I just realized I want to switch internet connections to my house. Will that fuck the show up if I leave and then come back?
It will, but I think the
It'll be
people will
rude.
understand.
Okay, I think that'll improve because
You've
I'm
been
getting some like
perfect.
I'm getting some gaps in the speech, and I feel like I'll be better if I do this. So I'll be back.
Okay. He's standing there right now, like.
Yeah. He'll be back.
But yeah, man, I'm. Last time I wasn't really afraid. I was almost cocky going into it, and I wasn't. Who knows? Like I certainly wasn't. Fortunately for me, my teammate was such a weak link that I wasn't really tested.
You looked great by comparison. Like people watching are just like, man, Woody was rearing and ready to go after that 13-hour ordeal. Kyle was throwing up, turtle blood or whatever the hell happened to him.
Yeah. So like I don't really, and when I watch these other shows, a week in, those people are still okay. Like it isn't until a week in that they really begin to suffer and start. I don't know, maybe not Les Stroud. Les Stroud's whole thing is only a week long. And
you watched Naked and Afraid, you mentioned. The first episode I watched of that, like the guy and the chick who were there with their little satchel that's like their mailman satchel cleverly in front of their genitals.
Always.
They get out there into a swamp, and somehow this chick had the bright idea of like, we'll split all the food 50-50, I'm a 5'2", 130-pound female, 140-pound female. You're a 6'2", 250-pound man. Like this guy was beefy. And then at the end of the episode, they showed like the side by side of like the progression of weight loss. It was like Sarah, starting weight 140, ending weight 127. It was like, oh, she looks pretty good. Like,
yes, they always do. Yeah.
And then the guy was like, Ted, starting weight 252, ending weight 218, and the guy's like standing there, like almost shaking. His hands are blurry from it. He is just totally had an awful time because she was getting one rabbit leg for every one of his. He was looking at her so angrily the whole time. Oh, it's great.
We're splitting that shit up equally out there in the woods. I don't care what you guys weigh. It doesn't matter. There's no Chiz isn't getting more. I'm not getting more. It's right down the middle of the squirrel. Right down the middle.
Sort of looking forward to the fat loss. I'll burn some fat on this thing, no doubt about it.
I considered working out or losing a little weight going in, and it just seemed like a bad idea. Like that seems like fuel I'm wasting. I feel like I'm going to need a little extra fat. So I'd say I'm coming into this thing probably 8 pounds heavier than I'd like to be. I think I'm about a 183 right now. I expect to drop down to about 175. Be looking nice when I get back.
That's what you want, though. You want to go into it with a little bit of energy to burn.
Well, with that hollowed out, emaciated look.
Don't let me kid you. I'm still bringing some fuel. I got fuel. I think I'll have fuel when it's over, but hopefully less of it. That would be fine by me.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's probably it as far as this. Oh, as far as you mentioned cheating things, I'm bringing a bar of soap. I don't know.
Toothbrush and toothpaste. I don't know if that's considered cheaty, but I'm bringing it.
I didn't bring it on the last.
The bar
one.
of soap implies that we're gonna have
I'm
going to
be bathing in a creek. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going that long without washing my face.
Well, then my cheat item will be a condom.
You guys should bring toothbrushes.
I guess I should
and
thank you for the
toothpaste.
consideration.
It's for Chiz.
You're like, fuck that. I'm just looking out for me. I suppose I'll bring a toothbrush, right? Like, I don't know, maybe. I don't know if that's that. I don't know. It seems silly. It doesn't matter.
It's gross.
I'm definitely bringing a toothbrush and toothpaste.
All right, and the baby wipes and stuff like that. I feel like that's pretty cheaty. The main thing in this is building our shelter. Keeping ourselves hydrated.
We're not bringing food or shelter. That's the core of it.
Or water.
Or water. Yeah, we'll have to find water. That should.
Not bringing any water.
We're bringing a bottle of water.
I think I might bring not like a liter of water, and then
liter.
we'll find the rest.
Well, after the first day, you're out.
I think that's how big an Nalgene bottle is. 32 ounces or whatever.
So a liter of water. Are you bringing any food at all, like a cheat item of a Snickers or something?
Patrick will have some food. We haven't figured out what that'll be yet. I'll ask him when I pick him up Sunday night. And we'll probably stop at a Walmart on the way back and figure out if he wants like rice-a-roni that he can make freeze dried food, or does he want canned food he can heat up at the fire? I really don't want to be sitting there watching him heat up his can of beans and sitting over there hungry. That's kind of bullshit.
Make him bring traditional British food, then you won't want it anyway.
I like British food. We should make him do MREs, but that seems cruel. And I just thought of this. Patrick's going to be part of the show too. I think it's going to be funny to Give me that fucking camera, Patrick. Like, look at this motherfucker. Look at him over here. Look at him. He stepped in shit.
That
He
asshole
stepped in shit.
shaved. He shaved today, that motherfucker. He's not surviving at all. He's thriving.
Yeah, I think this thing's going to be great. I'm glad that we were able to get a sponsor so we can get our cameraman from the other side of the fucking planet over here and get him to film this thing. Patrick's going to work out nicely, I think. And
Dude, I'm
it's gonna be a real
nervous,
success.
though. I'm scared right now. Right now, I'm like what the? It's like I feel like I'm like there's a school bully waiting for me at 3 p.m. and
I
I'm
would
just
back
like,
out if I could.
I don't have a fucking plan. I don't
so
have.
excited.
I don't
Mother
have any
Nature's gonna throat punch you
skills.
guys.
I don't like. What the fuck am I going? How am I going to handle this?
If you could back out right now, and like nobody would think less of you, would you?
Yes, I don't
Yeah,
want to
me
do
too.
this. I'm
Totally.
so
That
fucked.
feeble admission of defeat.
Yeah, I guess.
Dude, it's like we're gonna go
like-
out there. I'll give it my all. That's for sure. Like I gave it my like I'm pretty. I don't know. Like I don't
Competitive.
quit very
We
easily.
both are. Yeah. Like I want to go out there and look. I felt terrible last time about what happened. Like I didn't want to like bitch out like that. I just couldn't go on. I really was sick, and so I really want to tough through this. I'm not gonna quit. If I was thinking like if I get cut, like fuck that shit. Like we're gonna keep going. I'm not coming out of there until the time is up. If we don't get any food, we just don't get any food. You can go weeks without eating and not die. We'll boil acorns and eat them, like whatever the fuck. But we're going to kill stuff. Totally going to kill stuff.
My biggest so last time we went in there thinking that we were going to survive off squirrel and that there'd be plenty of them and everything would be fine. Not only could we not find any squirrel, zero squirrel, never
It was
any
pine
hint of
trees.
squirrel.
That's why. They don't live in pines.
That
I
makes
didn't know
sense. Yeah,
It makes sense though.
But they weren't all pine trees, I don't think. But
They were. It
dude,
was a
I
pine forest.
Couldn't even find an insect. I
No
couldn't bait
insects.
my line. I'm digging with my. I had no digging. I did have a shovel. Why didn't I use that? But there's a cheat item. I'm bringing a shovel for my poo hole.
I always bring a shovel.
Yeah.
Got my shovel right here.
But you got a shovel nearby, huh? But yeah, my big item, like the big thing is no food, no shelter, no water. And we're gonna go out there and make those things happen.
I used to do survival camping years and years ago, so
really.
I used, yeah, I mean, well, I spent a lot of time in the Boy Scouts, but then I went to survival camp, and ever since then I just got like addicted to that sort of thing. I haven't been in years, but everything you guys are saying, it's kind of funny because it's like I remember the first time I went survival camping, I was like terrified, and I think I lost. It was actually a 2-week survival camp and a 70-mile round trip hike because we actually had to hike to a spot and back, so it was like 35 miles each way, and you had to live off whatever was on the land there and back. And it was a group of 5 people, and it was like different teams and stuff, and you set off on different parts of the day. It was a lot of fun, though. It was a lot of fun.
My shovel's much different. It's like a garden trowel, like this big. It's for hikers, and they wouldn't want something that heavy. But we're not going hiking that. We're not doing 70 miles.
Yeah.
I like mine. It worked real nice last time. It's still dirty from last time. That's the dirt from Uari.
There it is.
Is that sentimental dirt?
Not at all.
It's the worst dirt ever. It's got little vomit on it.
Yeah, that was god awful.
Was that from the trip that got cut short?
Yeah.
Yeah. Long story short, like I just got sick. It was like food poisoning, but I'm not really sure what caused it. I swam in a river at one point and may have swallowed that water, but it seemed really fast acting. It seemed like right after I was in that water, I started throwing up, and I really didn't stop until the next day.
Yeah.
Right.
It could have been the water, or he could have showed up sick.
Yeah,
We're not exactly.
could
Now
have.
this time he's showing up practically injured, right?
I really did strain my back. I think that'll be good. I got to film all day tomorrow, so we'll see. Yeah, it should be good. I'll it's not a serious injury anyway. I'll just go through something like that. I'm not gonna pull a Wings Redemption on you or anything like that. Like, what if I did that? Like Sunday night, I was like, you call me, hey, everything good to go? I'm not going, buddy. What?
You got to find a location.
I will. It's honestly, I feel like we could go out there like right now, and like I have an idea of where we need to go. Like I know exactly where it is. Like there's a spot where the creek goes under the road, and there's parking where we could park, and then I figure just walk straight back in there, and it's sort of an area where there isn't any road around it. I almost know exactly where we need to go. I just have to go out there and look at it.
How deep is the creek? Like inches, isn't it?
Well, where it goes under the road, there's of course like a pipe that allows it to do so, and so it spills into a pool that's right beside the road, and that pool may be like a couple feet deep, but the stream itself looks like it's usually like this, and it's a creek or a stream.
So
It's certainly not a river with fish.
I'm not an expert, but yeah, that's where I was headed. So I don't see much good fishing in there, but there's some
Frogs.
good bathing. It sounds like right under the thing.
I want you to
Maybe
make a vengeance turtle soup, and eat it.
Yeah, if we see a turtle, I will totally eat a turtle. We're gonna cut its feet off, roast them up real good.
I feel like I don't know what's okay to eat and what's not. Like apparently everything in the rodent family, which we're describing as our primary source of protein, is not good. Like squirrels can often be rabid and bad.
No, you just cook that out of them.
You can cook the rabies out of a squirrel.
Yeah, you cook anything out of anything. Think about it.
You should Bing that before you try it.
Well,
I'm gonna do exactly that. Let's go to
my
Bing.
dad's old friend was like, "Better watch out. Some of them squirrels have wolf," and I'm like, "Wolf?" He was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Oh, wolf!" And I was like, "What's that?" He's like, "It's parasite. His belly will swell up and be all black." And I'm like, "Well, I think I'll see that, won't I? I won't eat the one with the big black swollen belly then."
Don't listen to Kyle though. He wants you to fucking eat crow. You can't eat crow. That's why it's a saying. You're gonna get violently ill.
You could totally eat crow. You want to make a bet? I bet you can eat crow meat. I bet it's dark meat too.
You can eat crow meat, but why the hell would
not
you?
make you sick.
It'll make you sick.
It would not.
All right, nobody else eat the crow except for Kyle, and I want to watch Kyle literally
My
and
dad-
figuratively eat crow about this.
When I told my dad about this today, we were discussing this and how we could get food in the wild and all this stuff. He's like, the only way I know how to consistently get animals in the woods is to call a crow. He's like, you can take a crow caller and blow that thing. Crows will fly over and you shoot them. And I'm like, I'm not eating fucking crow though. Yeah, I'm like, there's a saying, I want eating crow. It's because it's not good to eat. He's like, and my dad's old friend was like, I think it's dark meat. And I was just like, nah, I don't want to do that. But they literally suggested taking a crow caller, which is like a duck call. You blow on the thing and it sounds like a crow, and calling up crows and shooting them. But I'm confident that I will shoot a squirrel or two at least. As I've seen plenty of squirrel when I drove back there, just on the side of the road, hopping around, nibbly bimbly and shit. I've seen that. I saw that bobcat. I'm sure there are rabbits and probably chipmunks and other rodents, and there'll be birds.
Are bobcat in season right now?
No, we won't shoot the bobcat.
No, if a bobcat comes at you, you can shoot it.
It's coming right at us.
It was him or
It's
me.
coming right at us. Yeah.
That would be great. If we see any pigs out there, there is no season on pigs. You can just annihilate those fuckers. So
Now, that's another one that I'm told is very dangerous to eat. They're often just ugly meat with worms in them and stuff.
I don't believe all that bullshit. I don't think so. First of all, I think you can cook parasites and stuff like that out of meat. It's that's the whole point of cooking stuff. You get rid of all that bad stuff that might be in it. I don't think it matters if the cow has AIDS, mad cow disease, whatever. As long as you cook it thoroughly, I think you can eat it.
So, following Taylor's suggestion, I binged. Can you get rabies from the meat? No, can you get rabies from eating the meat of a rabid animal? For instance, if you kill a squirrel that happens to be rabid, cook the meat and eat it, can you contract rabies? And apparently, yes. They're both reported patients, transmissions presumed through the handling of infected brain material. There are also prophylaxis applied to a group who drank unpasteurized milk from an infected cow and no transmit. I don't
We're not gonna eat
understand.
squirrel brain.
What the hell
So-
does
so-
yes mean? It says, can you get rabies? And then he says, can you cook it out?
You can't cook it out. That's what I was saying. I don't think you can cook rabies out.
You can cook it out. You can cook AIDS out.
AIDS is weaker than rabies.
Is it?
Well, if they were in a fight,
If I were in some government lab, I'd create some sort of super rabies as a biological weapon and turn another country into zombies.
Squirrel
No,
rabies in the
that'd make 'em
USA
vicious.
is almost
Yeah,
non-existent.
they eat each other.
So
China,
apparently
right?
squirrels are not often rabid. And I've been misled by Naked and Afraid.
Everyone wants to talk about this animal or that animal being rabid. Everything can be rabid. Like, I guess some animals can carry it. They make it seem like raccoons carry it as if they're like and a carrier is something that won't be killed by it. But I think they still die from it, so that doesn't really make sense. In any case, just fucking cook them, and we'll see it. If I've seen rabid animals, you know it immediately. Like you're like, oh shit, rabid thing, kill it. I've seen rabids. I saw a rabid raccoon one time. It was immediately evident that raccoon has rabies. It was the middle of the day, and it was stumbling around like it was drunk. It was like, gun that thing down and bury it somewhere. We're not going to worry about that. It won't be an issue. I'm more worried about you blasting through the forest with your 12 gauge.
Really?
Why would you be worried about that?
I think it's going to be gret. I'm really looking forward to this. I can't wait till the hunting starts. That's going to be the best. That's going to be the best part.
We're gonna be hungry. I wonder what PKA on Thursday is gonna be like. I picture us just like around the fire, laying on our backs, wishing it was tomorrow.
Yeah. So how are you doing it on Thursday?
Basically live. Like there's gonna be a cameraman there, and we're gonna have a bunch of lav mics, and it might not be 4 hours. I probably won't be 4 hours. Like we don't have topics or like the internet or any of those things.
I think it's going to be great. We'll sit around the campfire. We'll tell some campfire stories. We'll talk about what we're doing out there. We'll talk about our experiences that day, and I think that'll amount to like 2 or 3 hours of talk at least.
No, but that's with your energy right now saying that. You're going to get half an hour into that Thursday one and be like, this is fucking bullshit. Oh, all the squirrels gone.
Can you eat squirrel fur?
Yeah, thinking about eating shiz.
I think we're gonna do just fine as long as we kill some squirrels. I got to watch a video to remind myself how to clean and like gut a squirrel.
You said that a week ago.
Well, I watched one of the rabbit. I actually saved the GIF. Have you ever seen it? You basically all right, so you like start with its neck and you just sort of wring it out until everything shoots out its asshole.
I have seen that actually.
Yeah.
I just have this idea that it won't work for me. That I'll squeeze the rabbit and it's not just going to
explode.
Pop. Yeah.
No, it's not that hard. I've done it.
Oh, okay.
Well, why aren't you on this trip? You sound really useful.
Is it too late to get you in? We need a rabbit squeezer.
It's just what you said. You squeeze like laterally. You don't want to just have a big handful of broken bones in every part of the rabbit. So you just squeeze it like toothpaste, like the ribs in, and you'll think like this isn't gonna fucking work. And then I only did it once with my grandpa watching me. And then you squeeze the last bit, and it's almost like a zit where it's like you feel the pressure build, and then just. And it's just a weird cacophony of different colored
everything
tubes.
comes out.
And lots of smells, I imagine.
They just eat grass and small. So it's not bad. It's like cow shit.
I gutted a deer one time with my dad, and I did not enjoy that. I just really didn't. I knew then, and even he was saying, I hate doing this. I hate this. I only saw him do it the once.
Is it the task or the fact that it was something that used to be alive?
Oh, it's the task. I don't give a fuck if it was alive. I don't care.
You are
cold-blooded.
I agree with you. I don't care about that.
It's an animal. It's a piece of meat. We're far too separated from the butchery of our food and the eating of our food. When I go to Zaxby's, I know what happened. I don't give a fuck about that chicken. Fuck that chicken. When I go to like Sonny's Barbecue, I don't care if they rape the pig daily to make it taste so good. It's a pig. It doesn't matter to me. They chop those things up. They cut their throats and drain them alive in some cases. They shoot them in the head with those piston guns. Fuck them. They're animals and they're delicious.
I respect that point of view, and I can see where you're coming from. And I understand the hypocrisy in my point of view, which is like, oh, yes, I eat chicken every day, but I assume those chickens were happily pecking around the farm next to the red farmhouse with their friend the goat and perhaps a talking spider. I'm not sure.
No. I want to believe that they were in like a chicken Auschwitz and their death was a release. And so in a way, it's for the best.
You want to watch the chicken Auschwitz video?
Yeah, let's do that. But I also just want to wrap up that thought. Like, you're sort of like, hey, they're animals. They're not people. Fuck them. Is what I do, but not what I think. So, all right, let's go to I have it queued up here, actually.
Oh, could you link us all? Because even I lost my link.
Yeah, sure. So, there's Jay for your benefit.
Okay.
I I guess McDonald's and somebody else has been under fire for the rough treatment of chickens that make
Tyson.
That's the other company, right?
That's
McDonald's
the
and
poultry
Tyson.
company.
I think McDonald's works with them, though, right? Like they're definitely linked in.
McDonald's
with this.
uses Tyson chicken. Yes.
Okay, so McDonald's uses Tyson chicken, and there's some footage here that you're about to watch with us. And what happens is you'll cue it up at 0, and then we'll all just do 1, 2, 3, play. And anyway, you're gonna see some chickens. They're probably having a bad day. Are we ready?
Yep.
I am
All right.
ready.
Ready, set, play.
Dramatic bullshit music.
You don't work for PETA, do you?
It's like whacking day on The Simpsons there.
There's probably misbehaving.
So we've been asking consumers questions about McDonald's food.
It was a
What's in
call.
the chicken McNugget. I'm here at the Tyson plant to get you some answers.
So McDonald's is saying there's chicken in their chicken. I see this and it looks awful.
They're killing chickens that are injured or have
Did he just-
birth defects.
He just used that nail as a hook.
Nail, yeah.
Threw up
Well,
a,
he killed it first.
it was flapping around.
It was flapping when he picked it up.
You ever heard the expression "chicken with its head cut off"?
yes. Never?
Well, there's an
Okay.
expression. Flop. Yeah. They flop around once they're dead, once their head's
Look,
cut off.
they broke its neck right there.
Yeah.
Look at that. You didn't see that.
There's going to be like a massive chicken revolt, isn't there?
No, they're too. Look at how many chickens are in there. You can't expect them to take like meticulous care with every one. Just throw the spike hook at it and get on with your day.
Birds to the bucket in the middle of the barn, and
This is why Jeremy has such great
she's
forearms.
still alive.
Yeah, it is. These are the buckets that Jeremy carries. Yeah. Or used to.
You can see her blinking. That was a
Yeah,
live
it's still
chicken.
alive. He didn't do a good job. No, I should have done a better job.
These are definitely not free range.
This is how like 95% of the chicken is. Now that is caused by a bad grower. Like they should be getting that chicken out of there. He shouldn't be in there long enough to get rotten. That's a chicken that's been stepped upon. That's a birth defect. Birth defect. Birth defect.
So chickens, you were telling me before, they often, like, this is a common birth defect. Like, their legs
Yeah,
are
all of these
jacked
are
up.
very these leg things, these the hip dysplasia, the dislocated limbs, the thing where the chicken's head was like upside down and back. This is different. This is
I
the
think the
company
legs,
doing this.
yeah, are because they grow so fast they can't even support themselves a lot of the time.
So they're just loading chickens into crates here.
They'll be really tiny with that same leg thing, like freakishly tiny. It's something else. It's a deformity of some kind.
So they just grab a chicken by the wing and throw it into a truck.
Well, it's going to be dead in like 3 hours and like slaughtered, so they don't care what happens to it at that point. Now that I can totally see is pretty rough. When they're slinging them into those cages like that, that seems excessive. But what the farmer's doing there, as bad as it looks when he's whacking them in the head, he's killing the chickens that aren't going to survive anyway. And I mean,
I'm confused. So, okay, so this is basically just sort of like a animal activist video that's basically targeting both Tyson and McDonald's in this. I mean, they keep
right.
saying McDonald's, but this is all like Tyson videos.
that's the chicken McDonald's uses.
Yeah, and because
Okay,
it sounds
okay.
better to be like, oh, McCruelty than like, oh, Tyson. You know, it's still a big company, but not as big
I
name
see.
recognition.
Yeah,
And Kyle was saying that a lot of this stuff to him is just the chicken
commonplace,
business.
every day, the chicken business. Like those
Imagine
chickens.
that's true for cattle. It's true for any sort of.
It's not like that. So it's different with chickens because they do them in such huge numbers. You notice how many were in that house. There's like 20,
Right.
1 square foot per bird is the usual standard. And those chicken houses have like 25 or 30,000 square foot. So there are 25 or 30,000 animals in each one of those houses. The reason they're killing them is because they're what are called culls, C-U-L-L. And it's common business practice always to kill the ones that aren't going to make it, since there are 120, 200,000 creatures on one farm, like percentage-wise, there's going to be a lot of animals that aren't going to make it to 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. They're just fucked up and crippled and deformed in one way or another.
Now, what
and
about
when you have,
the pipe with the nail in it? Like, that didn't seem like the wrong... Like, so the thing...
I wish I had
me-
mine. I wish I had mine. Mine's so much cooler.
I don't know what I want from them though, right? Like, so how I imagine a cow being killed is they take this like a bolt gun, like an air compressor thing. It drives like a bolt into their head, and the cow just sort of insta drops. But I wouldn't expect that with every freaking chicken.
But with
like,
the cows, weren't they sticking their head through a gate and then like sawing through the bottom of the neck, and they were letting the cow bleed out?
Different places do different things. Different countries have different practices. I'm sure you could find videos of awful. I saw that video in China of them sawing that poor whale shark to death, from tail to front. That was horrible. But there's that thing with the stick with the nail in it. First of all, what my father created many years ago was much more sophisticated. The handle uses a golf club's handle. So you got nice leather grips there, and that fuses onto a piece of spring steel from the boot of an old car, so it can never bend.
what's a boot of a car?
Trunk. I call a trunk a boot. I don't know. I
You
think only British
pretentious
people do.
fuck.
That Georgia culture.
It is. That really is. I guess it's a southern thing. I refer to it as the boot of the car, or the trunk, whatever. They used to hold the trunk of the car up, and it's a long piece of string still, and it's just a long piece of thin rod. And at the end, it's sort of first it bends back this way, and then it comes down, makes a bit of a crook, and then extends down to a spiky point, so that you can, in one motion, cut the chicken's head off or hit it in the head and kill it, and in the next motion, stab it and then put it into a bucket or a tractor or wherever it needs to go, because otherwise you have to bend over each time and pick them up. There's nothing wrong with what those people were doing.
Yeah, it makes sense if there's that many. Like, you can't just be taking everyone out to a wood block, chopping its head off.
They have. I read once, what the poultry company, the preferred methods or the approved methods of culling them, and separating the head from the body is one of them. But there were a couple of crazy ones where I was like, who's doing this? It was like you had to put them in like a machine and remove the atmosphere from it. And it was like, really? Who's got one of those? What kind of creepy motherfuckers over there like, oh, calm down, baby.
Well, I imagine the creators of this video, I mean, they're focusing in on what they feel is the cruelty, right? But their ultimate message is to be vegetarian, because what's the ending slate there? It's keep it off your plate. Yeah. So even if they were being treated humane, then they just have to focus on the fact that, oh my God, they're selling chickens for food. So
one thing to keep in mind: those chickens in that chicken house, if you were to free them, they'd all die in a week or two. Those things can't.
They have no survival instincts. At that
they have the instincts, but they got none of the tools. Their breasts are massive. They're super weighed down. They can't fly. Chickens are supposed to be able to fly. They're not flightless birds. Regular chickens, before we did that to them and made them white, used to be black and red and stuff like that. And if you got near them, they'd fly up in a tree. And if you fucked with them, they'd use those crazy long spurs to fuck you up. A chicken's a formidable adversary out in the wild.
Fuck birds.
Those things that we just saw getting beaten down are just some genetic freaks that we created to make a lot of breast meat because it's delicious. So let's keep eating them and stop worrying about their feelings.
Yeah, they don't have feelings.
Get it. Yeah, maybe they do have feelings. Who cares? Maybe they have deep emotional thoughts and they have a family unit. They are delicious. That's all that matters.
These vegetarians never have videos talking about all the rabbits and ground squirrels and everything that are killed by their threshers getting their fucking wheat or whatever for their nasty pseudo meat patties that they ruin 4th of July with. It's just, I don't know. They kill a lot of animals too.
Kyle just said, if you put that chicken in the wild, it'd be dead within a week. And I'm like, soon I'll find out if I'm any better. I've got all the tools to survive, but none of the instincts.
I have a great idea. What if I brought with us on our trip a chicken? What if I stick with me here? What if I bring a 6-pound live chicken and enough chicken food to keep it alive? And at some point, Woody has to make the decision. We're hungry. What are we going to do? And we have to slaughter the chicken. We'll name it and everything. It'll be like a mascot. Until
Dude, do it. That sounds great. We'll can you get him in a cage or something? We'll stick it in the back of the truck.
No, he'll hang out with us.
But
they won't...
I have a cat carrier thing. Wouldn't that be perfect to transport the chicken?
Yeah, that'd be perfect. Although honestly, If you just blind them, they won't go far. That's what we usually do. We'll just blind them real good, and then they stay close. You can go cluck cluck cluck, and they think you're their friend, and they just none of that's true. None of that's true. We won't blind the chicken or anything like that. Yeah, we'll put him in a cat carrier or something, and he could live
Do you
with us.
need
That'd be
one?
fun.
Do you need me to bring it?
A chicken or
No, I imagine you got access to chickens. I just don't know if you have a way to like transport and keep the
I
chicken
actually
for
do
a week.
have a cat carrier on my. Maybe no, that's like a cat house. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, you should bring something.
Okay.
You guys are gonna wake up on night 2 to chicken shrieks and look over and see a mountain lion.
Yeah, the
eating that
bobcat. Yeah, that's what I'm like, dude, if you want to get fucked with by wild animals, sleep with the chicken next to you.
Let's bring a bunch of chickens, surround ourselves in them.
That could be a thing too. Now, that's one thing I didn't even consider. Like fox, and I guarantee this place is swarming with fox, and I bet there's coyote too. Like,
Can
they'll
we eat
come for
those
that
things?
chicken if he's making some noise.
Dude, that's the thing. That chicken is going to be our bait.
You can't eat fox there, can you?
You can eat it.
It's
I
a
don't know. It's not
squirrel.
seasoned though. I don't think.
Look at that big fucking squirrel. It's like 15 pounds.
Yeah, you guys just need to do like flash cuts to like every night at dinner. Every night, it's a wildly different shaped squirrel. This squirrel almost looks like a fish. Like very flaky meat on this squirrel.
This squirrel's wearing a shoe.
Yeah. This one's got a goofy 18th century hat on. Like,
This squirrel howls at the moon.
I'm looking forward to this trip, man. This is gonna be good.
I'm not looking forward to this trip at all. I am so fucked.
you'll do fine. Worst case scenario is you lose a little bit of weight and you get cranky, like, or
and get
someone
eaten by a
kills
bobcat.
you.
Yeah.
Or the hobos come out.
I'm excited to see how Chiz handles all this because honestly, I feel like I can go a long time without food. Like the way my eating schedule works, I guess, is like I wake up and I don't eat again until like 7 p.m. I eat like one meal. It's at 7 p.m. at night. So like I feel like I can go a full day without food, like no problem. Like I get this
that's
hunger.
like a normal person's lunch because you said you stay up till like 6 a.m. So like that's like me saying, oh, I'll wake up at 9. I don't eat till noon. Like
Well, all right. So today I did that though. Like I got up today at like 9. I got that's about as early as I'm gonna get up normally. Although tomorrow I gotta get up at 8. But I was out all day and I didn't eat. I think I can deal with not eating pretty well.
I had dinner less than 2 hours ago, and I'm hungry right now. It's
Better hope there's lots of squirrel in those woods.
I am truly fucked about this trip.
I'm really looking forward to this coverage. I'm gonna say
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great.
yeah, I want the videographer to have every day start the way it does in The Shining, where it's like day 2. It's all dramatic. Everybody
I
gets
like that
sadder
too.
and
Yeah.